Claude has launched its new feature, and that is connectors. If you have not watched it, you have seen these connectors right into your UI. And I wanted to build my own MCP server, and I wanted to host it in such a way that everyone can use it. And you can see I have used my own MCP server right in front of you. As of time, I have exhausted my limit of Claude code, and that's why I cannot demo right into the tool. But I will show you what I have done. I have used this particular item in my cursor also. So this is the same prompt which I have given to Claude, and this is the same prompt which I have given to cursor. Again, in cursor, I have reached my usage limit and I am in auto mode. And that's why you will see that the threads and the tweets are very substandard. These are not actually written to a standard method how we write tweets, and this is not the quality tweet I write. But this is what AI can do. This is what automation you can do. If you're using Claude Desktop and you want to tweet something, you can tweet it. If you are using Cursor, you can tweet from right into the text box, and you don't have to go to Twitter to write tweet. And whenever you want to go to just scroll, comment, and that sort of things, you can do from your own Twitter account. That we are not automating. We are automating what should be automated, the scheduling part. And this is what we have done. You can see I've scheduled it for the 8:20 p.m. So this should have been triggered by now. And let's see whether it has been triggered or not. And at the same time, I have hosted this in Vercel, and I am going to give you a 5-step checklist of how to host MCP server into Vercel. I have already covered the video of how to build one. So if you have not watched it, please watch my previous videos. And today I will cover the checklist which you should follow if you are hosting in Vercel or if you are hosting any production server. But this checklist will help you to host the MCP server in the efficient way. So let's see whether it is posted or not. So you can see this was posted live into your demo screen. And if you go and see the time itself on Twitter, these are all posted in my Twitter account. I'm not sure whether how people will react to it. It is using the hashtags which I don't use generally, but yeah, this is what it is. So you can see this is all tweeted by the cursor itself, and you can see the threads were also tweeted by cursor. So this is the magic of AI, to be very honest, in my opinion. And let's see the 5-step checklist. So this is the five step checklist which I have created for you guys, and you can see this is what you need to know. So whenever I started my first journey of building MCP server, there was one issue which I faced, and I will show you what was the issue. So this is if you are building a Vercel server, you always know that you create middleware, and in that middleware you exclude some path and you include some path. So if something doesn't have any cookie, we exclude that part. And you can see here we have right now used API. Earlier my API was protected, but right now my API routes are not protected. So anyone from the API route can access my item. So for every API I have used a get session context. But for this particular MCP server, we have to allow all origin, like every client should have the access to fetch this item. So you can see that in my auth, if I go to my auth all, I have given access allow origin all. So this is the first thing which you have to do if you are building MCP server. So whatever your authentication route is, you have to give this particular item with the methods available. Once you have done this, then you have to take care of never expose important data in response. Why I'm saying that? So whenever you build particular functions, whenever you build libraries, you build for your own internal use cases. So your own code base had access earlier, but you are building this MCP server for MCP client. So while giving the response, you have to be very careful. Earlier, whenever I committed some changes to my database, I just pushed out the whole return statement with the response object. But this is not what you should do. You should always filter out the response object in a such a way that it should be public. So my IDs, which are given to each data item for tweet, this is not same as the ID in the database. So these are linked with second column, and that is nano ID. So nano ID is something which AI has the access. ID is something which AI doesn't have the access. And this is how we filter out the response. So if I go to my response, so if I go to actions. Here you can see that I have created the function list tweets. And again, if I go to the return statement, you will see that in DB we are getting this particular item. What are when nano ID, content, tweet type, status, and everything. So Twitter tweet ID, this should not go into the client. Right now, this is the template code we have written. So we will just filter this out. So you can see we have selected this, and we are just sending this response object to the LLM. So we can just scratch this out and it will be safe to parse it to LLM. So this is what we can do. And this tweet id is not the tweet id we have in database. This is the tweet id which Twitter has given to us. So it is also again safe to parse. So you have to figure out which data object to send and which data object you don't want to send. So this is the second step which you need to do. Now comes the very important part, and that is authentication. Earlier, if I have built my MCP server without any authentication to test out how MCP server works. But when you are going for production, you have to make sure that you have some authentication. One authentication is this API route. So you issue one API key to each and every user for their MCP client. For each MCP client, you can issue one API key. But you know that that will be tiresome, that will be not a good user experience. The good user experience is using OAuth. So if you go to my cursor MCP JSON, you can see that I have used this particular URL. So this is the URL which anyone can access. So if I share it with you guys, I know that you will, if you even if you attack my URL, you will not bypass my OAuth credentials. So but if you had the API key, you could have easily gained access to my MCP server. And that's where this particular OAuth comes in place. It does the token rotation automatically, and that's why you prefer OAuth. And this fourth part, and that is rate limiting. Rate limiting is one of the important thing which we need to do, because there are multiple MCP clients. Even if you give authentication through OAuth, there is still a risk of rate limiting. For example, you are using cursor. For example, I have cursor and I can create new tabs also. So if I just click on command T, okay, what I will do, so this particular item I have to do. So you have seen that I have created two particular tabs. If I run MCP server, it actually runs two parallel requests to my server. So my server will treat each request in a serial way, but that this particular client is sending a lot of requests to my server, and I have to rate limit every user. That's what everyone do. So we are limiting by rate limiter, and you can see I have the code as well. We are doing rate limiting. You can see what is the rate limit, like 60 requests are only allowed in 60 seconds. So one request per second on an average, and this is what we do. Again, we are using Redis to store the rate limit operations, and you can see what we have done. So rate limit is very important step which you have to do when you are going for production. And the fifth step, which is very important, which is not told, and it is assumed that you know it. But if you are a beginner and if you are a vibe coder who is building SaaS applications first time, this is the thing which you need to do. That is data validation and sanitization. Right now, whatever forms we used to fill in Web 2, we used to fill it. Our React code had the form validation parameters. Our server had the form validation codes. Similarly, we need form validation, like the validation of the input before we pass it to the database for queries. So you can see I have done preparation, like I have sanitized the input using Zod. So if I go to the route, yeah, this is not the one. We have to go to the actions. So this is the actions. You can see we are using Zod schema, and after that we are verifying our input, so that you can see the data. So we are seeing the data if it is safe to parse or not, and if it is not safe to parse, we say invalid input, and if it is safe to parse, we parse the data to our database. And this is the method you should use to actually verify. Even if your MCP server does verification through Vercel MCP adapter, you should do a double check to be pretty sure, because whatever you passed, it was any arguments. You have to check whether the data was correct or not. And this is the 5-step checklist which you should follow when you are going for production through your Next.js as MCP server. And I've already shown you the Claude desktop, how you can use Claude, and I've also shown you the cursor. So this is pretty simple. You just click and it actually verifies on itself. So you have to just make sure that your particular application, this particular application is logged into that particular app, not this one. So we have hosted this in Vercel. So we will just use this URL and I will show you what I mean. So in whichever browser you are authenticating your MCP client, you need to make sure that your server is logged in. So if I go to app, you can see I am logged in into my particular application. And this is again open source. So I will link this particular application into the description. And if you have any comments, please let me know. And in future, I will come up with different videos. So this was the final episode on MCP server. We may come up with one last episode on MCP server, and that is the simplification and explanation of how MCP server works. But this was the whole practical application of series of MCP server. So you will get the playlist details in the coming days. So see you in the next video, and bye and take care.